Gentlemen, welcome in to a very special WWE Backlash predictions panel episode of the BCP. Ladies and gentlemen, we back. And first, we got to shout out our sponsors over at Funkenstein. Well, you know, Englishtown Flea Market, Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore. We got G.I. Joes, we got wrestling, we got Star Wars. It's May the 4th day. Go online, FunkensteinWrestlingSuperstore.com, or check them out at the Englishtown Flea Market here in New Jersey, Saturdays and Sundays from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Shout out Dan and Heather. Thank you, as always, for sponsoring the BCP. Also got to shout out our new sponsor. Sorry, guys, I got to pay the bills. You know, got the Excalibur stuff out of the way here. Please welcome in our new sponsors, the No Gimmicks Podcast. Check them out. They got the No Gimmicks Podcast fan page on Facebook. They are the podcast that keeps it 100% real, 100% of the time. So check them out on all the streaming podcast platforms. Guys, thank you so much for sponsoring the BCP. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the show. You know her from literally everything, thepoprake.com, all things honor, the BCP, Kimmy Talks Wrestling, Maria Canelsa's personal protege, and new college graduate, Miss Kimmy. So cool. Congratulations. We're very proud of you.
Thanks. I finally did it. You know, we started this journey. I was a sophomore. Now I'm done. The graduation's next week, and I'm done with school forever. What is better than that? Wayne, it's great to have you back on our show, the BCP. Mike, I don't know who the hell let you back in, but I guess you're...
All right. Before we start burying each other, because we know how this goes, not my first rodeo, Kimmy, I'm very proud of you. I just want to say, and I've said this before publicly, like when I was your age, I really wish when I was in college, I knew what I wanted to do. I wish I had studied, you know, sports broadcasting or communications. And I really didn't know that was a possibility. I didn't know I could do that. And to see you commit so much time and to accomplish so much and be director, commentator, you know, writing, journalism, all that great stuff. Very proud of you. You know, stay humble and just continue success. And I'll be mean to you for the rest of the show.
What? Well, okay. Can we also add the fact I'm the only female graduating with my degree next week?
Yeah, so. I almost said that, but I wasn't sure that was correct information.
It is.
Congratulations. But give it up for Kimmy, everyone watching. Kimmy, we're very proud of you. You're going to go very far. And like I always say, when she stops returning my text, we'll know that she made it. That's a running joke here on the BCP. And guys, please welcome back to the show. You know him as well. Kimmy's arch nemesis. Someone I really miss this guy. You know him from thepoprake.com and Sweet Chin Musings, a pillar right now of the BCP. Please welcome back Mr. Perfect, Mr. Mike Mueller. Mueller, I miss you, bro. How are you?
I miss you too, man. I'm good. You know, it's an honor for you to have me on your show. And before we begin, I did want to say that I was sad to not be on the WrestleMania prediction panel. But, you know, I made that bold prediction at Elimination Chamber. And I said if it didn't come through, I wouldn't be on the show. So sad as I was to not be there, I am a man of my word. And Rob, I know like you were begging me. You're going, please, Mike, please. The show's just not the same without you. Please, we need your incredible insight and guidance. I was like, Rob, I know, but I can't do it. So I'm so happy to finally be back. It's great.
But that didn't happen at all.
Oh, we're already starting here. See, oh boy, some things as much as they change, they always stay the same. Mike, it is good to see your handsome face, man. Always the wild card here on the BCP. Always great having you. And the Mr. Perfect of the show. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I know Mike's got some things to say later. And please welcome back. You know him as a wrestling aficionado, a guy who's earning his stripes here on the BCP and the leader of Key Nation with the new merch, rocking the bucket hat, our good friend, Mr. Wayne Ray Keener. What up, Wayne? How are you?
Thank you, guys. As always, I appreciate being asked to come on the show. Yes, I do. I do have merchandise. I have polos and T-shirts. Soon to have bucket hats and ball caps. Doing big things. Playing with puppets and telling dad jokes, and just kind of living the dream. But this is great. Looking forward to the show, and this is my favorite panel. So it's always good to get an opportunity. So thank you as always.
Wayne with one bucket must likely like my Nets in the playoffs this season, but I digress. Let's get into it, guys. Let's talk about WWE Backlash, guys. If you are watching in the chat, please tell us who you got. Tell us your theories. We'll try to respond to everybody. Please share the stream. Let's have some fun. We're going to start with Kimmy's favorite because she's graduating. Seth Rollins taking on Omos. This came out of nowhere. It was kind of storytelling after the fact. Very interesting. We saw Seth's initial reaction on Twitter to all of this. Kimmy, Seth's your boy. What do you think about this one?
What are we doing here? I think WWE has no idea what to do with him because if you look on the Pop Break, I actually wrote a beautiful article as to why that new championship is his. I don't care what Mike says, it's his. It's his belt. It's his. So my issue here is this match make no sense. They had one promo, one interaction, only one. That is it. They have done nothing else to this. The two of them were so separated this past Monday on Raw. I don't understand it. Obviously, this is a huge momentum given for Rollins as he's going into that tournament for Saudi Arabia to take that world title. Rollins is going all the way, and Omos better be on his hands and knees thanking Rollins after he gives him the best match of his career.
So, I mean, no surprise here. Rollins to win. Also, some mention of that new World Heavyweight Championship. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Mike, you going with Kimmy on this one, or you going the other way just because by the bylaws you have to?
I'm only required to go against Kimmy a certain percentage of time. And I'm not going to use one of those percentages here because she hit the nail on the head. And I'm very happy for Seth Rollins. He's paid his dues over the past year. And for all the reasons why you said it doesn't make sense, Kimmy, yeah, it's thrown together, but I think it's exactly the sort of thing that Seth Rollins needs. He needs momentum going into the tournament. This is an easy way for him to get a victory that doesn't hurt anybody else. Omos is not like it. It's not like he was about to be fighting for the world title or anything like that. So this is a quick way to get some momentum. Seth Rollins gets a meaningless win in the sense of there's no feud and there's no heat behind it, but it's still good to see him get these victories and show that he's on that path to becoming the first world heavyweight champion, which he absolutely should be. And I'll get to my reasoning later. But yeah, you know, Kimmy is a blind squirrel here. She found a nut.
Wow.
So that's great. Good for you, Kimmy. Good for you.
My picks were in first for our article. You copped off me, so let's be real.
Sure.
Oh, here we go. Wayne, do we have the trifecta?
Check out the record on those articles, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Rollins has to win this. You know, it's funny because there's literally no build up to this left field, like everybody's saying. But I mean, look at like AEW, like with some of their Rampage matches, right? They just take two people and they throw them in a ring together and it makes magic. Now, historically, I have not been an Omos fan, so I don't think there will be magic here for this match. But I do think it's everything that you said it was. It's going to be a momentum builder. It's going to be a much bigger opponent for Rollins, so it's going to show how he kind of gets over that hurdle. And I think it's exactly what he needs as he heads into the world title tournament, so the world championship tournament. So, yeah, I absolutely have Rollins winning.
So in the chat, Mike Ferreira saying Seth will win. Over on YouTube, welcoming Jonah Levinowitz. Jonah, thank you for checking in. Going almost for the win. Oh man, I feel like I'm getting yelled at. I'm gonna go almost on this one because I feel.
Why?
I mean, that is the question. It's a very fair question, Kimmy. Like I said, I feel like I'm ready to get yelled at here.
Okay, I'll get yelled at later. Wait till you hear my stupid pick later.
Oh, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. You know, we can't all agree, right? But no, seriously, just I thought about this one a lot. You know, it makes sense for Seth to win here, but the thing about almost, it's they're trying to figure out where to go with him, what to do with him. Obviously, the obvious booking is strongman, powerhouse, heavyweight, you know, big man, play all those cards. Shorter-ish match with Brock Lesnar at Mania. Really trying to do everything they can to get behind him, you know, joining him with MVP. There's a lot of theories that might, you know, come out of that. I'm not saying anything's going to happen at this particular pay-per-view or premium live event, excuse me. But I think Seth, it's just one of those things where Seth's going to take a random loss. It's not going to hurt him whatsoever. We're going to forget about it 2 months from now. And I think it's just because if almost loses, I just feel like it completely kills whatever they're trying to do or create with him. So I think this is just going to be a loss. Super interference, super MVP, super whatever. And it's going to be a forgettable loss for Seth. It's not going to hurt him whatsoever. And Seth's going to have big things on the horizon. So something to give almost something here. Otherwise, it's just almost is just this big man that loses all the time. So that's kind of my thing. I mean, statistically, yeah.
Have you met Braun Strowman? He's doing the same thing on another brand. It's the same exact thing. Big man who always loses.
So maybe that proves my point more so. Maybe it's going against the grain. I'm probably wrong. I'm not going with the safe bet on this one, as Mike, I'm sure you calculated already. But let's move on to our next match. Kimmy, where you want to go on this one?
Let's actually pick someone who's going back home, because let's talk about Zelina Vega and Rhea Ripley.
Would you like to start off, or would you like to pass it off to your best friend, Mike?
Okay. Oh, no. He is anything but my best friend. I mean, let's be real. Who let him back here? I did. Yeah, that was some mistake you made. So, for the SmackDown Women's Championship, may I add that the SmackDown Women's Champion got drafted to Raw, and the Raw Women's Champion got drafted to SmackDown. The NXT Women's Champion also got drafted to Raw, and the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions got drafted to SmackDown. Do you see all of this? That does not make sense. Welcome to WWE, ladies and gentlemen. We just got, Endeavor. We now are not even one sole company. We're now just one huge family. So, Zelina Vega has a lot of momentum right now. And if the draft never happened, I would have picked her, because she deserves this, because she was someone that was never used. She left or got fired. She came back. She won the Queen of the Ring. She was tag champ. And now she's finally getting that momentum. She's the only woman ever to be in the LWO. They are very much capitalizing on the LWO. And what's a better way to capitalize on a new faction is some gold. But unfortunately, we're not in Kimmy Dreamland. This is not going to happen. Rhea just won the title. The momentum is all on her. She was the first pick in the draft on Monday. So they're obviously doing something. I don't know what we're doing with these titles. Again, I don't understand why title swaps don't do that. WWE, get your shit together. Rhea is going to retain, but there is going to be interference from the Judgment Day in the LWO.
Yeah, I'll echo that. And in the chat, I'm seeing a lot of Rhea as well. Rhea Ripley, they weren't doing anything with Zelina, and I'm so glad to see her get this opportunity. But I mean, even thinking it's 100% Rhea, but I'm thinking do they make Zelina look strong here? Is this where she's gonna kind of show up and show out of nowhere? That'd be really cool. She is capable of some really good stuff. A lot of that running off the apron, Hurricane Rana stuff. She's capable of some really cool things. I'd like to see her show up and show out, kind of take Rhea by surprise. At the same time, I could see this being a very short match. Rhea has just been so dominant. There's a lot of talk, not officially, just on podcasts and fantasy book and whatnot, about her getting the IC title at one point and all this stuff. But Rhea deserves all of the opportunities in my book. I think it's no question. Should we lock it up, Mike? Lock of the night, Rhea Ripley. What do you think, bro?
Absolutely lock of the night. And the draft has nothing to do with this. There was no way that Zelina Vega was going to win this. I love Zelina Vega. I was a big fan of her and Andrade back in NXT when they were doing their thing. Big fan of hers for a long time, but it's just not happening. You've got a fresh champion. She's majorly over. A couple things that people aren't thinking about. Kimmy mentioned the LWO. I know this was before your time, before you were born, but the LWO just lost all the time. With Eddie Guerrero and everything, it was fun, it was cool, but they didn't win. There's never been a faction that has any sort of prestige when it comes to winning or titles or anything like that. I can't say for sure, but I don't think anybody in LWO has ever held any kind of title. So why are we starting now with that? The other thing is Rhea Ripley is getting cheered a lot more than they maybe necessarily want. You're not going to get a lot of opportunities to boo Rhea Ripley, but having Rhea Ripley facing a Puerto Rican in Puerto Rico is going to give you maybe your last chance to really show nasty, straight heel Rhea Ripley before they start just making her full on tweener. There's no chance she loses the title. I could maybe make a case for it's one like Roman and Seth at Royal Rumble 22, where she's just beating her so bad and refuses to stop that eventually she gets disqualified. That's the only way I could see Zelina possibly getting any sort of win, but it's just not going to happen. This is all Rhea all day, and I love you, Zelina, but this just ain't happening.
Yeah, and that seems to be resounding throughout the chat. Jonah in the chat, before we throw it to Wayne, I love Zelina, and it would be amazing if she were to get the W, but Rhea, I think, will take the win. Yeah, that seems to be the lock of the night over here. Wayne, tell us why Rhea is winning, right?
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna do the lock of the night, I'll do the whole Fox Sports thing. I'll do the dun dun, like Terry Bradshaw does. But yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, Zelina Vega being the hometown, it's like they said, it's that feel good story, and that's absolutely right. If you look at Rhea's popularity, she's beginning to get the tweener response. You know what I mean? Even though she's evil, she's vindictive, she's got that like smirk on her.
Oh, did we lose audio on Wayne, or is it just me?
I know he dropped for me.
Yeah, we lost your audio, Wayne. We'll check.
Back?
He's back.
Oh,
He's back. We're good. Hey, we live, people. This is we're live, pal. We're live. What do you got, Wayne? No, all good.
So yeah, people are starting to like cheer her, and like they said, even with her being nasty and evil and the smirk and everything, they need to make heel Rhea, and there's no better way, like Mike said, than in Puerto Rico with Zelina Vega, just doing heel things with the Judgment Day. And, whether it sticks or not, at least for that night, like she is just going to be destroyed by the fans. And that's what they need. So Rhea wins.
Great point. I love that you guys brought that heel, face conversation to the table. At the end of the day, the fans decide who's heel and face, no matter what. So let's move on to the WWE Raw Women's, totally not reading this, Raw Women's Championship match. The EST of WWE, Bianca Belair, the Raw Women's Champion, taking on one of my personal favorites, Io Shirai, Io Sky, whatever you want to call her, a show stealer. I think this is going to be a good match. I think this is going to be a really, really good match. I don't see Io just coming out of nowhere and winning that title against Bianca, but I think the real winners here, the fans. I think this is going to be awesome. I always talk about them holding back kind of Bianca in terms of her athleticism, her moveset, where she can really show up. I keep saying that, show up and show out at WrestleMania. I always feel like she's at 60% and that she does all these crazy flips and things and feats of strength. I think it's going to be awesome. I think we're going to see a little bit more high flying in this match than usual. I think Bianca's going to pull out some tricks, and we're going to see the full extent of, maybe I'm just getting excited here, of Io Sky's offense. Damage control is a whole nother factor. Selfishly, I just want the one-on-one, no interference, no nothing. I doubt that's what's going to happen, but I think we're going to see Io show off a little bit. But Bianca totally retains here. Kimmy, what do you got?
This is going to be the start of the dissension of Damage Control. I'm actually kind of shocked that they didn't kind of start this with like having them get drafted separately, like Bailey goes to one brand and then Io and Dakota go another way, because that's the thing. They said this draft was going to be so blockbuster, so game changing. Nothing happened.
Nope.
Like there were 18 call-ups and no one broke up. Every tag team is still a thing. Every faction is still the same. So how was this blockbuster? How did this change the game? Triple H, it did. So I agree that this match is going to be really good, but I think the new problem, but again, your Raw Women's Champion's on SmackDown. How? Why? Now with all these call-ups, now there's more opportunity for whoever and however they're going to manage this problem. Please don't do a title swap. There's more people for the Raw Women's Champion to wrestle. But if you look at the Raw Women's division compared to the SmackDown Women's division, the Raw Women's division kind of sucks. So whoever is going to be the face of that, good freaking luck. Bianca's going to win here. But again, I don't know what we're doing to solve this championship dilemma.
I think you bring up a great point, Kimmy, as I'm on Twitter trying to share this, and I use the hashtag WWE Backlash, and a little bad bunny emoji appeared, and I popped big for that. I thought that was awesome. But you bring up a great point. I'm easily amused. Kimmy, I think it's very interesting because, we always see these tag teams and factions and who's going to turn on who and how they're going to split up and who's going to be the standout and who's going to, be featured, endeavored, or released. And, it's the same old thing. I thought with this draft, especially because they had that disclaimer for it, like, this is the perfect way to just like, you don't have to make a story. No one has to stab anyone in the back kind of a thing. Like with everyone, like Street Profits, we've been saying it forever. Like, I've been saying Montez is a star before he was even on TV. Like, Damage Control is another example. Draft the Street Profits separately, draft Damage Control. But I'm here just because I'm not so big on Damage Control, it might be fun to see the fall of Damage Control, the Alt Control Delete, if you will. It should be very interesting. Wayne, what do you got on this?
So I agree that Damage Control is going to be the beginning and the end. I actually have Io Sky winning this belt. And I have her winning the belt with help from Damage Control, and then I have the Evolution turn on Io Sky. I have Dakota and Bailey doing beating the crap out of Io, throwing her out of Damage Control. Bianca runs back in, makes the save, whatever, and then down the road we get a clean Bianca Io one-on-one for the belt, or you could do a lot of fun stuff with that. I just think Bianca's had the belt for a while. She's had it. She lost it. She got it back. She talked at length about how much she respects Io Sky out of everyone in Damage Control. Her ability as well as just like her personality and everything. And the other thing is, out of the 7-match card, like, what is WWE going to give you that makes it engaging? It's almost like Clash at the Castle. Know what I mean? Like, it's a great card on paper with people against people, but there's nothing that makes me say, what is this going to do to the landscape of the WWE? I feel like this match can sneakily do something to the landscape of the WWE. Nobody expects a title to change hands on this. Not a spoiler alert for like later, but like nobody expects a belt to change hands in Puerto Rico on Backlash. Like, why not? Like, this is perfect. I mean, you don't have to be like AEW with the TNT belt and play hot potato where a new person gets it every week, but you could at least, give Io the run, have the Damage Control implosion, the Evolution style kind of backstab. And then with all the new call-ups and everything, you got so many fun options of just making it fresh and fun in the women's division. Like, you can go anywhere with that storyline. So I think Io Sky wins. I think it's Damage Control interference, gets the belt, turns on her, and then wherever it goes from there, I think it's going to be fun. But Bianca doesn't need a belt to be a star. She can integrate with anything, whether it's a tag team, a storyline, whatever. She doesn't need she doesn't need the belt to be a star. And I think Io, you build her up in the main roster as being that star that she was down in NXT.
Very, very interesting. I'll say that way. Now, did you have Io winning clean, or did you have... No, okay, with help. Okay, very, very interesting. I wouldn't hate it if Io won. I'm a huge Io Sky fan. Mike, now you're a betting man. Would you say the smart money would be on Io Sky or Bianca to win? And where are you going with this being a betting man?
I don't know what kind of odds you would need to lay me to bet on Io Sky in this match. Wayne, that bucket hat is on point, but this prediction is not. That was way, way off the mark. So I love Io Sky. I think that Damage Control as a group, all three of them individually have been horribly misused and mismanaged. But if Asuka isn't going to beat Bianca Belair at WrestleMania, if Becky Lynch isn't going to get the back and forth, she's not going to end up on top of that feud against Bianca. If all these people that Bianca's run through haven't been able to do it, that's a real hard sell to tell me that Io Sky is the one, because Bianca Belair has been on this incredible run, and we have gotten to this point where whoever beats her, that's going to be a really, really big deal. And if they are just itching to make a star out of Io Sky, then maybe, yeah. But I also, I don't think this matters that much, but don't tell me other people do. Io Sky as your champion isn't going to be cutting a lot of promos. Like, you get, as a champ, it just doesn't make sense to me why they would put the faith of all people at all time. If this was a belt that had been hot potatoed, I'd go, yeah, sure, maybe this is a great way to launch that. I like the idea of them kind of going out a la Evolution, but it's just not happening here.
You never know. You never know what could happen.
Sometimes you know.
We'll see what happens,
Yeah.
Mike. Hey, he's the Mr. Perfect. In the
No,
chat.
he's not.
I'm going to eat so much crow.
Here we go.
Let me ask you, if I didn't make the pick I made, would the last 3 minutes have been as entertaining as
That was my dude. That's always my thought. Please, and if we all agreed the whole time, please.
I think Wayne gets the soundbite just from that.
Oh yeah.
Everybody sitting at home going, "What in the hell is that guy?"
Good stuff in the chat. I'm an analytics guy. I'm a stats guy. Mike in the chat saying the EST wins and retains. Jonah in the chat saying, I think the match is going to be great and that Bianca will retain. And I agree with Kimmy about this being the start of the descent of Damage Control. And Jeremy Sampson, welcome in. Jeremy, please subscribe over on our YouTube channel. Thanks for chiming in. Let us know who you got throughout the show. Saying Io did beat Rhea and Charlotte for the NXT title. She has the chops.
Doesn't count in WWE canon. They don't care about what happened in NXT.
Fair enough. New regime under Papa Trips, but we'll still see what happens. This is very interesting. We're having some fun theories here. Let's talk about Mike. You had some things you wanted to talk about. You want to get into that now?
No.
Okay, you have because you have a segue. You have a segue. That's why.
No, I appreciate you T-balling it up for me.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
If I get the choice, I want to talk about the U.S. title because I have to make an amendment to the article that Kimmy and I wrote.
For sure, man.
No.
So should we get into the United States Championship Triple Threat match? Austin Theory, the champion, totally not reading this, versus Bobby Lashley versus Bronson Reed. Interesting. This U.S. title thing's been very hot potato all over the placey. Mike, you had some things to say. The floor is yours.
Thank you. So when I had written the article, I thought that Austin Theory was going to retain here. But to bring up Kimmy's point earlier of what do we do with all these titles? Well, we can easily swap a lot of the titles. But one thing that we can't do is swap the U.S. and Intercontinental title if Bobby Lashley or Austin Theory win because they're both on SmackDown. Gunther's already on SmackDown. He doesn't have a match tonight, so that belt's certainly not going over to Raw. For the sheer reason of needing a secondary title on Raw, don't ask me how, but I got Bronson Reed winning this. He's the only person post-draft that's on Raw. And unless you're going to have a whole lot of belts on a 2-hour show and one belt on a 3-hour show, the only choice to me somehow is Bronson Reed.
What?
I want to say what, but it makes sense, man.
You can swap the Raw women's and the SmackDown women's. You can swap those titles. You can't swap the US and the IC if they are on the same show. So unless you're going to have
they're not
belts,
on the same show. Gunther's on Raw with the IC title and Theory's on SmackDown with the US. What the hell are you talking about?
Wait, is Gunther on Raw now with the draft?
He's been drafted to Raw on Friday.
Oh, then never mind.
What are you talking about?
Then never mind. Austin Theory retains.
Oh, there you go. Good. And Mike, I was following you. I'm like, you know what? Like your math checks out. Like, and I didn't want to agree with you. I'm like, there's no way I'm picking Bronson Reed. No disrespect, but I couldn't do it. But I see what you're saying. Yeah, a lot of moving parts here, guys. It's hard to keep up with everything. I honestly didn't remember that.
That's my bad. I thought he was still on SmackDown.
No worries. A lot of moving parts. We're gonna have to get used to these new rosters.
You let him back on the show, and he just made himself look like a fool
You
again.
posted an upside down promo.
I did not. That was your phone. That
just
is
mine.
your phone's problem.
Hit us up in the chats if you saw Kimmy's promo.
If you saw an upside down promo, let us know. If you saw, you know what? For me, it started right side up, and then it flipped, and then it was always flipped. So I really don't know what happened. It was a great promo, by the way. But
it was all right.
Mike Ferrer in the chat.
At least I'm skilled to cut a promo. Unlike
wow, Mike getting heat. He's the heel of the show. Mike Ferrer in the chat, not sticking up for fellow Mikes, saying Mike's not perfect. I beg to differ. But that being said, I can't pick Bronson here. After Theory's win over Cena, I'm glad that there's a belt, a mid belt on both shows. Bobby Lashley almost got like that consolation prize. No disrespect. I'd love to see Bobby Lashley win it again. But, that consolation prize and winning the Andre the Giant Battle, Royale thing on the WrestleMania SmackDown edition, which isn't my favorite thing. Like, I almost feel like what does it do for... The only thing it would do something for is Bronson Reed, and I don't see Bronson winning it here unless they're just going to get behind him. It's got to be Theory to retain here. I don't really have much more to say. Real quick on what you guys were saying about swapping the belts. I'm not a huge fan of like here you go. Yep, this one's red, this one's blue. Never a big fan of that. Like if they do it once or twice, like it's different, whatever. I hope they don't do a bunch of that. I'm not a huge fan of that. I realize that you have to do it in some form or fashion. Don't get me wrong. Kimmy, since we're all over the place, rein this thing in. What do you got?
All right, so let's not talk about nonsense like Mike is. Let's talk seriousness. Because, he made a big boo-boo. Again, why do we let him back on the show? I have no idea. So, Bronson Reed is simply in this match for the pin. That's why he's in here. He's getting the pin. Sorry, not sorry. Now, here's the interesting thing about a triple threat. You don't have to get pinned to lose your title. And if we're going to have this stellar, amazing feud in the summer between Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory, why don't we just put the title on Bobby? They could have a rematch at Night of Champions. They could wrestle at SummerSlam. They could go the whole way for all I care. Because now, as a heel, you know what? This triple threat match wasn't even fair. I didn't even get pinned. How is this fair? I want my title rematch. And then you just go. And again, get a stipulation. And that's what we're going to do. Because the other thing is, there are so many people on the blue brand that have been drafted that can win this U.S. title. You have a Solo Sikoa because the bloodline, it's going to descend. Spoilers, that's what's probably going to happen in the main event. You have it is Mike. Keep on laughing, but again,
no, I'm laughing. What an incredibly bold prediction, Kimmy. It's something they haven't been hinting at for months.
I know. You have a Grayson Waller who cut an amazing promo on Raw Talk this past Monday. And if you're going to try to spice up your mid-card, you play around with the U.S. title. And the best person to have play around with that is Bobby Lashley, which is why Austin Theory, oh, so sad. I'm so upset that he's going to lose his title. Bobby Lashley will be getting his due from the embarrassment that he had to suffer WrestleMania weekend.
Wayne, why do I have a feeling you're gonna pick Jonah or something like just left? We're off the rails on this one. It's been a fun show. Don't get me wrong, but what's going on here, Wayne? What do you got, man?
No, I can't pick Jonah as much as I love Bronson Reed. Like because of like Mike said, the brand situation that can't happen. Jonah cannot win because of the draft, right? Kimmy makes an incredible point. Like. Just if I would have went before her, like my life would have been changed, like whatever. But being somebody who wasn't afraid to say Io Sky out loud a couple minutes ago, I am going to stick with my guns and I'm going to say that Austin Theory retains. I don't think you put him over John Cena at WrestleMania if he's going to, lose the belt in Puerto Rico to Bobby Lashley. I agree with her about how the feud can go. It's a triple threat match. Austin can be kind of screwed, not taking the pin. All of that makes incredible sense and very well could happen. But I have my name down under Theory before she started talking, and I'm going to stick with it because there was a reason I had it. So we'll go with it.
I appreciate that, Wayne. And Wayne always sticking to his guns. I appreciate that, keeping it real. That's what we do here on the BCP. I remember, I think one time I picked like the Lucha Bros to win the titles, and everyone picks against me, and everyone on the panel yelled at me, and guess what happened? Lucha Bros won. So you never know what's going to happen.
But you've continued to make dumb decisions since that pod.
But the point is you don't give in to peer pressure. And that's a good lesson for all of us. This is a very special edition of the BCP.
Can we get the more you know streaming across the screen there?
Yes.
All right. Where are we going? I think we need to talk about, let's go with the San Juan Street fight. Bad Bunny in action versus Damian Priest. My criticism here is, real quick story. We kind of saw it coming. I'm glad Bad Bunny's involved. That's money, makes a lot of sense. Good business. Damian Priest and Bad Bunny, they were homies. They were friends. And then just kind of one like altercation and just flipped the script. Now we're fighting each other. I thought originally, or maybe it was building this way, or maybe I'd read something, which is not nearly always true, but I thought Ray was going to be involved in this match. I thought Dominic was going to be involved in this match. Maybe I missed something. I thought Ray would be on this card, am I missing something here? Mysterio's not on the card.
He's not. It seemed as if it was going that way, and then they changed their mind. But it's okay, because the match is going to be even more fun. That's just the two of them, and it's not 1,500 people involved. But 1,500 people still will be involved with the amount of interference that this match is going to have.
Oh yeah.
Is Mysterio not going to be in Puerto Rico, or will he somehow probably show up in this match?
Oh, he'll be in this match. Absolutely.
I think that's where they got to go, right?
It's going to be Judgment Day, LWO. It's going to be all sorts of nonsense.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of interference.
I'm surprised it's the one-on-one. I really am. I think it would make more sense. I mean, Bad Bunny, I'm not going to lie, really showed up and showed out at that Mania a couple of years ago. Really good, hitting the Canadian Destroyer. Like, you know what? Maybe that's why they want to do it. It's like, hey, he's really good. We're going to give him this highlight reel. So we'll see what happens, man. I just thought it was a no-brainer to have Ray in action, on a marquee in a match. But again, so super Rey Mysterio biased. Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny wins here. Wayne, I'm going to throw it to you, man, because I don't want you going last again, bro.
No, it's all good. No, that's good. You can hear it. You can get the stupidity right up front. It's fantastic. No, I see how you're booking this. No, I agree. Bunny wins, but here's the cool thing, right? Like it's going to be an absolute just cluster of humanity. You're going to have all of LWO in this match. You're going to have the Judgment Day. If that's the case, the Judgment Day is a little outnumbered. You got the rumor of JD McDonough coming up and joining the Judgment Day. You know what I mean? So if that happens, you got like the even thing there. I know it doesn't go into effect till after, but who says? You know what I mean? Why couldn't McDonough show up to even out the odds? I think when the smoke clears, just like if Cena would have beat Rob Van Dam at One Night Stand and all hell would have broke loose there, I think Bad Bunny gets beat in Puerto Rico. I don't see it turning out well. Then again, they're all about their shock value, so it could happen. But once again, I think the storyline's got Bad Bunny written all over it. It doesn't hurt Damian. It doesn't hurt the Judgment Day. It's a fun match. Not a fun match because it's going to be hell. But, I mean, it's a fun match for the fans. You get that star power rub. You're going to have eyes on this match that maybe normally wouldn't watch WWE, kind of like when Logan Paul's on it, or you have Bad Bunny, superstar. Even people who aren't normally WWE fans are going to watch it for that reason. I feel like he's got to go over because that's like badass across like the world of like news and stuff. And I don't know if you guys watched That's My Jam, but Alexa Bliss and Miz were on it Monday night, and one of the questions were who beat Miz at WrestleMania, and it was funny. They got it. The other team got it wrong, but it was just funny that like Alexa and Miz looked at each other like they knew the minute they said Lance Bass. It was like they know it's a bass or a bunny, but they couldn't figure it out. So it was just wild. So total side note. The Bunny wins, and Rob will regret calling on me first, never again. So
no. Kimmy, let's go to the newly minted college graduate.
That is which is really anyway. That's a whole different conversation. So let's talk about school actually, because this has to do with something I did in school a couple weeks ago. So for my PR class. No, this literally, Mike, I tell you, this literally has to do with
Diorama.
Yes. So for my PR class, I had to give like a tweet like every month about like something in PR. So when they announced this show and Bad Bunny hosting, I was like, is this really smart to combine Bad Bunny's fans in the wrestling world? And my whole class was like, this is the dumbest idea I've ever heard in my life. And I'm like, well, clearly you don't understand my world. So I'm going to hold you to that real quick. The reason why this is a singles match is the same reason why this show sold out in the first place. Because as soon as they announced Bad Bunny was hosting it, as soon as they announced he was there, it was sold out instantly. Because Bad Bunny makes money. He has shown that. Remember, he was at the Met Gala. He, I believe, won a Grammy this year, last year, one of the things, whatever it is. He makes money. He does incredible business no matter where he goes. He is someone that everybody knows. All my friends love Bad Bunny. They hate that he's involved in my world. They absolutely think it's so stupid because they're like, can you tell me what happened to Bad Bunny? Yes, I will let you know what happens to Bad Bunny.
Make them watch.
No. Peacock, like, come on.
Yes, but my friends won't. Trust me. I know them. For this match, obviously he's going to win. He's going to play the role of a host. He's going to also be in this match. He's going to kill it. The reason that they gave him this singles opportunity is because they trust him. And if he didn't tour, he would do WWE more often. This is where his heart's been forever. He put in that work at WrestleMania 37. Yes. He moved down to Florida and he trained with everybody. So
he crushed it at Royal Rumble too.
He did. He lasted a little bit longer than Rollins, I believe, which breaks my heart a little bit. But he's gonna kill it. He's gonna do amazing, and that's why he's going to win. But don't worry, Rob. Ray will somehow be there. I know your heart's gonna break a little bit if he doesn't show up, but I can assure you he will be there.
All right, and I appreciate that, Kimmy. And you're right. Bad Bunny is money, like no question. Like I think they were saying he was like double diamond and like, first of all, the music business is super hard. Like Mark Cuban doesn't want anything to do it. Like the music business is so hard. Like I've heard like triple platinum and all this, like double diamond. Like what I heard them say, I was like, what? Like this is insane, man. Like it just makes all the sense in the world. Reese in the chat real quick saying hi, Rob, Mike, Kimmy, and Wayne. Welcome in, Reese. Good to see you. He's also saying, Kimmy,
Thanks.
you were right. He won a Grammy last year and this year. Mike, I know you hate going last, but we had to get you on this one.
That's all right. Yeah, no, this is, I thought it was going to be a tag team match as well. Having it be a street fight, you're going to be able to sort of disguise a little bit of the greenness of Bad Bunny. He's still a green bunny, but he's going to do very well. He's killed it every time. I agree that if he wasn't making millions, if not billions of dollars doing the music game, he probably would be wrestling more full time, and I hope we get to see him more because I think he does a great job, and it's obvious that he cares about it and he takes it seriously, and it's wonderful. Expect just what everyone else said. Expect a lot of interference. Expect a lot of chicanery and ne'er-do-well actions, but this is in Puerto Rico. This is, if you ever wanted a feel-good moment, this is going to be your feel-good moment. Bad Bunny, he is the people's rabbit, and he is going to win.
The people's rabbit. I'm here for it. I like that when I pop for that, Mike. That's why he's
Never
here.
again.
That's why he's here.
No.
That's pun disputed. Let's talk about Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, the undisputed tag team champions, and Matt Riddle coming out of nowhere on this one versus the Bloodline, the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, and Solo Sikoa. Yeah, this has been a little bit all over the place. Just the random, Riddle returning. We knew he would. The persona, the character is very entertaining. I'll leave it at that. And the Bloodline's been a little all over the place. Like, obviously, we're just seeing the cracks in the armor. The story, the fall of the Roman Empire. We thought we were going to see more prominently after WrestleMania. Things didn't shake out the way most people thought it would. That's a whole nother conversation. It's a little all over the place. It's so much so I'm not really sure where to go because there's so many moving parts. Like, does Riddle take the pin here? Like, where do we go? Mike, help me out there. You're pretty smart at this stuff, man. Help me out.
I like to think so. So I think this is going to be a victory. This is weird. This is the only match on Backlash that feels like a Backlash match. It's sort of the only one that really has any ties to WrestleMania at all. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I think this is one where the good guys win. This is, as Kimmy so brilliantly alluded to, this is going to be a real big fracture with the Bloodline. I've got it with, I think we're eventually going to get to a Roman versus Jay part 2 thing. So I've got Jimmy taking the pin. It doesn't matter who pins him. And then after the match is over, I think Solo is going to beat both of them down. I'm not expecting to see Solo in this match a lot because it would then make sense why he could beat both of the Usos up by himself. They really want to make Solo a big star and someone that moving forward is going to arguably be a main eventer. So I think this is where it happens after the match, not during the match, but Jimmy takes the pin and then Solo throws a few Samoan spikes in everyone's neck.
He's good. He's good. Kim, you can't deny that's some good booking right there. What do you got?
No, I can deny him because again, can we allude to what he did 20 minutes ago? If you're going to come on a podcast, at least keep up with the product. My God, I'm busy too. I had final this week. What's your excuse?
I have no excuse.
Right. Exactly. Uneducated. Anyway,
who you got?
Back to my prediction. I don't care. I have a diploma. The only female. Yay. So, I don't like this match. I think it's pretty stupid, to be honest. Because I get it. And I'm like, there's so much more we could be doing. Like, I would have rather seen the Usos and Owens and Zayn. Because the other thing is, a lot of people allude to this, Owens and Zayn are not taking that flight to Saudi in 3 weeks. So does that mean the tag titles will not be defended in 3 weeks on the pay-per-view that is a very well titled? All the championships must be defended. So
it's not a champions. I was like,
but it's not a title match.
No, but I'm saying, like I was alluding to a couple weeks ago, like I would have rather seen Owens and Zayn versus the Usos at this pay-per-view and leave Solo and Riddle out of it.
Okay.
Because then it would, like, if Usos would have won, they would have went to Saudi, whole thing. Because yet again, Owens and Zayn are not going to Saudi. No one can convince me otherwise. I'm telling you, they're not going. So anyway, like I said, this match is really stupid. I don't like it. Obviously, Bloodline's going to lose. It's going to lead to them breaking up. The whole big thing is like Roman Solo or like buddy now. Yippee-yi-yay. The Usos are going to be oh so sad because they keep messing up and Roman's also disappointed in them. I hope that Riddle doesn't get the pin. Like, I hope that Riddle doesn't get like the win for this team because I'd be pretty disappointed because I don't like that he's back. I think it makes more sense if it's Zayn because I think that's kind of like a full circle moment. So yeah, go Team Face.
Team Face, man. You guys are convincing me, Wayne. What do you got?
You had the Bloodline winning?
No,
I don't know. I don't know what I have.
No. No, I'm on the same page as everyone. I believe tonight. I believe this show is when the Bloodline, the fracture finally breaks. It's been alluded to, little things here and there, even so much as the Raw after Mania when, they went to sit in the plane and, I took care of it, my tribal chief, Like, it's just been very segmented. The fact that it was Solo, Heyman, and Roman and look, we've had large packages. I mean, LWO was like a 5-person, package. So it wasn't like they couldn't have brought the whole Bloodline in one draft pick, but Roman chose to break it up with just the 3, and then the Usos got drafted later. So I think that shows that there's that break there. And I think that you're going to see that. I got the Faces winning. And I agree with Kimmy. I got Zayn getting the pin over, doesn't matter, Jay or Jimmy, but Zayn gets the pin because once again, that's that full circle Bloodline, honorary Us kind of thing to continue to drive that home. Plus, as much as Riddle is entertaining and stuff like that, once again, you don't really want to super reward him with like the premier victory moment. So I would say give it to Zayn and the Faces walk out with the W, and the Bloodline just go to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah, all right. You guys all convinced me. I'm gonna go with.
Don't give in to peer pressure, Rob.
Yeah, right. No, never.
The more you know, Rob.
Yeah, no, very true. Yeah, kids don't ever give in to peer pressure.
Right.
But I do think it makes sense for the Faces to win here, just to continue the fracturing, especially with the Usos and the rest of the Bloodline. That should be interesting. Good, pop from the crowd here. Wayne, I think your videos I don't know if you're gonna hit the video on it. Everyone pretend like you're looking like very fascinated by what Wayne said. We'll use this as a screenshot.
So what happened?
No,
you're frozen.
He's frozen. He's very handsome though. Just gonna call him Elsa. So let's move on to our next match. Took a second. Let's talk about Cody Rhodes. Lots to say here versus Brock Lesnar. Oh man, so much to say about this one. So much to say. Where do you want to go, Kimmy? You want to take it away on this one?
2012 called. They want their storyline back.
Oh.
Hi, have we seen this before? Let's go back to WrestleMania 28. A sad, disgruntled John Cena doesn't get the win in the once-in-a-lifetime match against The Rock. He's sitting on that ramp, oh so disappointed. The Raw after Mania, who returns? The one and only Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. Oh my God! And then he beats down John Cena so bad. Wait, now let's go to 2023. A disgruntled Cody Rhodes is sitting in the ring after WrestleMania 39 because he didn't finish his story. He lost. He couldn't get the job done. The next night on Raw, he was so hopeful. He teamed with Brock Lesnar. And then Brock Lesnar turned his back and beat him down to a pulp again. 2012 called. They want their storyline back. We've seen this already. Oh my God, WWE. If you would have told me at the beginning of 2023 that this match would have happened, I would have said no. But WWE has proved me wrong so many ways this year. Don't know if I'm grateful for it or not. Cody, I think, is going to get the win here because if you go to Extreme Rules 2012, this is literally what happened. Brock Lesnar beat John Cena down and beat John Cena down and beat John Cena down. And John Cena had that inch of life and finally got the win. And then, of course, that led to the SummerSlam where like Brock Lesnar nearly killed John Cena. It was a whole thing. But yeah, I think Cody is going to win to get a little bit of momentum. And then Night of Champions, he's going to lose to the one and only Seth frickin' Rollins. As Seth frickin' Rollins finally gets his 1W over Cody Rhodes and holds his new title oh so high. All roads lead to Cody winning in Puerto Rico.
Wow. All right. Not bad at all. Kimmy, not bad at all. Very well said. Mike, do you agree with this, man? I'm sure you have a lot of thoughts on this.
No, I don't agree at all. I was made to look stupid, as we all were, by thinking like fools that Roman Reigns would lose. Shame on all of us for even thinking that. Here's the thing. This Cody story, and as Bill, if he's watching, is about to have an aneurysm, you were right, Rob, and it's what he said. It's the story wasn't told. It wasn't told well. It was mentioned. We as fans know the story. WWE did not tell the story. So we are getting the Cody Rhodes road to redemption. And if that is going to happen real quick at SummerSlam, then Cody winning here makes sense. But I think this is a longer story. I think that we're getting not quite 2014 SummerSlam Brock Lesnar beating down John Cena level, but not far off either. I think Cody is going to take a very, very bad beating because he needs to hit emotional and professional rock bottom. And losing to Roman at WrestleMania, I'm sorry, just doesn't do that, especially because this is Act 2 of a 3-act play. Act 1 was him losing to Roman. Act 2 is going to be him losing to Brock. And Act 3 is him dominating his way to the finals of the World Heavyweight Championship and then losing to Seth Rollins. Once that happens and Seth gets his victory over Cody back, then we can begin this story of Cody Rhodes getting back. We've got a year of time so we can get them both on the same brand again. It doesn't matter that they're not on the same brand right now, but eventually Cody will be the one to dethrone Roman, but he's got to go through, in my opinion, a lot to get back to that point. And it's crucial that he loses to Seth Rollins to become the number one, or to become the first World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins being, because Seth Rollins is really the only credible name on the roster that Roman hasn't beaten. So if you want this title to not feel immediately like a secondary title, you got to give it to someone that Roman can't say, I already beat that guy. And so Cody being the first World Heavyweight Champion does not track for me. And if he's not going to be the first World Heavyweight Champion, let's see him go through some real trial and tribulation. Let's see him take a 2014 Brock Lesnar over John Cena beatdown and come back from that, because we lost all this time with his injury. We didn't get to tell that road to his ultimate moment. This is the way that we finally will be able to truly get there, but it has to start with Cody being knocked down a lot lower than he's already knocked down. And this is coming from a Cody Rhodes fan. It breaks my heart to see Cody Rhodes take losses, but I think that's the best way to get people to continue to care about him and not just go, okay, he took one loss, but the guy wins everything else.
Wow. Good stuff, Mike. Really, really good stuff, man. Was it you who said on the podcast, it might've been you who said like SummerSlam was kind of like where everything was kind of like that down moment, and then WrestleMania, I don't know if it was you or Matt or someone like that. But
it's a good point. So I might've said it, but yes, no, I agree. I think it is the sort of the
cliffhanger.
The cool down. We can chill after this for a while.
Yeah. And I think that's great, like a great point what you just said. The thing is, they threw, and I'm not going to go too far down this rabbit hole because we'll just go on forever. But the whole wrench thrown in the machine at the end of WrestleMania again. I don't hate hearing Rob was right. That fuels me. But I think we were definitely thrown by the way WrestleMania ended. There was I'm going to leave it at this. There was a lot of mixture. There was anger. There may have been some tears shed here at the BCP compound. I'm not naming names. There was a lot of emotion at that moment.
Imagine being inside SoFi Stadium.
I wanted to ask. I'm sure the air got sucked right out, right?
So there was some silence.
Exactly.
Then there were some boos. And then everyone was just kind of like, why? But the funny thing is, so the people in front of me, so the person 2 rows in front of me, it was like a 10-year-old kid, was fighting with an adult. The kid wanted Roman to win, and the adult wanted Cody. So they're going back and forth this whole match. And I said to the adult, I was like, do you think this kid's going to cry when Roman loses? Because I don't want to deal with that. And he's like, I don't know. That's a good point. So now Roman wins, and this kid is rubbing it in this adult's face. I was dying. He was like, we told you, acknowledge me.
We the ones,
like,
they the
no,
twos.
This is stupid. And we all left SoFi very, very angry. And then we went to go hang out with some wrestlers. So our day was made.
And thank you for sharing that, because I did want to ask what it was like in that environment. And I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole. But yeah, usually SummerSlam's kind of like that cliffhanger, and then WrestleMania is the big happy moment. It was on a platter. We decided not to go that way. Like I said, I don't have the answers. I know what I said on the podcast. I think a lot of people viewed Cody's stories, his starting point, as his earlier time in WWE, going through AEW, much like Bill said, whereas a lot of fans now view the start is basically when he returned 2 WrestleManias ago, and now he needs more, obstacles to overcome here. He certainly has that in Brock Lesnar. I think after that decision, after WrestleMania Monday night, I think it was the right call to book him against Brock. I'm not talking about the WrestleMania decision. I'm talking about this particular match. I think Brock is the right guy. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, because if he overcomes Brock Lesnar here, it's like, all right, not a lot of people have beaten Brock Lesnar clean. Not a lot of people. There's not a lot of names that have beaten Brock Lesnar. I think Cody can. Do I think it's here? I'm going to say no. I'm going to kind of go with Mike's line of thinking here, because we're seeing Cody kind of getting fired up, a little less, polished, a little bit more rugged, just wants to fight. All right, what? I'm fighting Brock Lesnar. I'm going to go throw everything I have at him. I'm afraid of him, but I don't care, kind of mentality. First of all, Cody, whenever he becomes heel, which shouldn't be anytime soon, that would be completely ridiculous. But with the suits, the big words, the man, it's just there. Don't do it now. It makes no sense business-wise whatsoever. That being said, him losing to Brock here, just that moment, him just sitting here and thinking and getting in his head like that moment, that's the storytelling right there. It's Brock Lesnar, man. Maybe run it back at SummerSlam. Like Mike and I said, since he came back, I want to see him almost win the Rumble, but I mean, that already played out. He won the Rumble. I want to see him failed cash in, whatever it is. It's kind of that story of how's Cody going to get to Roman if they're here and here, and what's going to happen. There's ways, we know that. Now there's a new title involved. I don't think it's going to be Cody winning that title. I think it comes off as a consolation prize. I will ask the question very briefly. If it was the old World Heavyweight Championship, the old design, would that have changed anything in any way? That's an interesting question you guys can think of at home. Feel free to share here as well. That being said, it could go either way. A big win for Cody, I think that makes a lot of sense, Kimmy, and maybe it should go that way, so we're kind of doing this thing. I'm going to see him kind of fall a little bit more. I'd be hypocritical if I went against that, so I'm going to say this is a struggle, and this is that moment of just Cody just... Man, that's 2 big ones. Can I do this? That doubt starts to creep in. Wayne, take us home.
Yeah, well, I apologize for what happened in the computer earlier. I kind of feel like Cody Rhodes. I'm kind of getting beat down, and now I got to work my signal back up.
Don't worry about it.
We just missed the handsome. We just missed all the handsome. Yeah.
Yeah. So nice. I think that Cody wins this, and I think you guys are making great points with the beatdown and all that. But if it wasn't for the new championship being introduced, I would say Cody loses. However, it's a pretty quick turnaround to crown this new champion at Night of Champions. So I figure if Cody did lose this to Brock Lesnar, then what claim does he really have to stake for the opportunity to even be part of the whole thing? You know what I mean? I feel like WrestleMania was that big, like Kimmy said, that air out of the balloon, like, everything was just kind of dead silent. That was a choice they made. They could have went the other way, but they chose to go this way. Time will tell. But I feel like him being destroyed on the Raw after Mania, I think, you're seeing a different side of him. You're seeing not the polite, I'll do things by the book, Cody. You're seeing the let me go immediately in defiance of what they want me to do and let me cause a ruckus and call Brock out and fight the security and, beat up refs and stuff like that. You needed to see that. And we got to that. And I think you're going to see that at Backlash. It's going to be a good fight. Not many people beat Brock clean, but I think Cody gets the win here. I think you're going to see a million crossroads. He's just going to do it and be like, I cannot stop doing this. He's going to have to hit 10 of them to keep Brock Lesnar down. But I think he's going to win, and I think that's going to catapult him into that conversation, and we start to climb up. I don't think he gets the belt. I do believe that belongs to Seth Rollins. I think anybody who can go overseas and they have to pause a house show for 13 minutes because the crowd will not stop singing his song. So you can't even get the match in. You can't get the announcer in. You can't get nothing. The crowd is taking the place hostage for 13 minutes. There's something there. There's a, if you're in the WWE, you got to see that monetary spark in your eye, the merchandising, just he is the people's choice. You know what I mean? And he is, and Rollins has overgone so many different character changes. But this is so him, the outfits, the sheer, when he came out in the $200 Pac-Man boots, this is the life he's living right now. For the love of God, strap the man. He earns it. He's your workhorse right now. It was I was happy to see Macklin win at an Impact for the same reason. He's doing all the hard, heavy lifting, but not getting any of the respect. So I think Rollins wins that, but I think Cody wins this. And I think this begins the climb out of the hard times. This is what builds better men, and this is the better man journey to be beat by Seth Rollins in the finals of the title match. Yeah. So that's what I got.
Very interesting, guys. We definitely hit our times. I do want to ask this before we do our shameless promo. Just clarifying, when Cody came back, just because this is all out there, his mission statement was to win the belt that his father never won, which was, I believe, the WWF Championship, correct?
Yes.
So
yes.
To complete said mission statement, you would have to vanquish the tribal chief. Not, him winning this does not complete his mission statement.
That belt is a play on the belt that his dad did win. So that, to me, that doesn't finish his story
right
at all. He said, I'm here to do the thing that my dad didn't do. And by the way, how great is it going to be once he finally does do that and he does turn heel and his first opponent gets to come out and go, you accomplished the thing that your dad never got to accomplish. And the second that you did, you turned into Ric Flair with the suits and the blonde hair and the fancy shoes. It's all, I can't wait for heel Cody Rhodes as a champion, but it looks like we're about a year away. I thought we were going to start seeing the formation of it already. We're clearly going to have to maybe wait another year, but I'm on for the ride.
Hey, you know what? Maybe we'll be seeing it live over here in Philly. Mike, I don't know if you're coming out. We'll figure that out later.
I think I have to.
We'll see what happens. Philly Mania, can't wait for that. Guys, let's get this shameless promo out of the way. Mike, tell everyone about a little something called Sweet Chin Music's a podcast I very much enjoy.
Oh, thank you, sir. Yeah, a new episode just dropped today. It's me and my buddy Luke. We were talking about a lot of the stuff that we were talking about on here. It was a little more controlled and not as nasty, but it's pretty good. And we try to drop episodes between every week and every other week. You can also catch me writing and arguing with Kimmy in print form on thepopbreak.com. Mike versus Kimmy. It's been a fun little thing. I went ahead and reread the old articles, and it was just a wonderful trip down memory lane. And in case anyone is wondering, the record currently stands 4 for Mike, 2 for Kimmy, and 2 is a tie. So, just take whatever, do whatever you want with that information.
I'm a stats guy, just saying. We'll see though. Still lots more to go.
Lots more. This is the fight that never ends. So it's not like, I mean, I can be up 38, 39, 40 to 2 on Kimmy, and it's not like it's ever truly over. So
wow.
It'll go forever. She's always got time to come back.
Oh, Kimmy. Well, speaking of comeback, it's your turn, and I see you with the slow clap over there. What do you got?
Hi, this guy, unbelievable. Rob, first, thank you for all your kind words at the beginning. And I do want to say publicly that your recognition in my wrestling journey will be very cumulated on my graduation cap. That is an Easter egg. It is. Yes, he knows what it is. I sent it to him. But thank you, Cody Rhodes, for the inspiration as to what I'm doing with my graduation cap. And when I'm done decorating it on Monday, I can't wait to post it. Anyway, that's not what this is about. So for conventions, Baltimore Celeb Fest, Rob's going to be there. I'm going to be there. I believe Wayne's going to be there.
What?
Yeah. And I'm working with my bestie, the best person in the world. He is the Japanese commentator for the WWE. It is Funaki. He is amazing. He is literally my best friend. I love that guy. I will put him over like no tomorrow. So, and also with us, we have Caitlin, we have Ultimo Dragon, we have Sony Ono. So head over to Sorrentino Promotions table at Baltimore Celeb Fest. Alicia Fox is doing her first signing since being done with the WWE. Good old JR is going to be there with my friends, Ultimate Stars. There's a lot of guests. So please go to BaltimoreSlutFest.com and get your tickets, and you'll see me, and I'll have trading cards. So, like, it's a win-win, right? And then I'm going to be on site for Double or Nothing. I'm going to Vegas. Who would have thought? Yeah, Mike, I need all your recommendations, by the way. I'm going to text you. I need a whole... You got
a whole travel guide.
Thanks. I write for the Pop Break very, very often. I do the All Access reviews. I do the Ring of Honor reviews. I do stuff with Mike, and anything me and Bill could really just think about is just stuff I do. So head over there. I, of course, am doing All Things Honor. That's my podcast all about Ring of Honor, which I have to shoot after this, which is so much fun. Warriors of Wrestling has their 200th episode May 19th. There's so many great matches on that card. And Joey B is apparently saying goodbye. I don't know too much about that, but it's a little crazy. I don't know. I've been trying to convince him for weeks not to do this, but I guess what the boss wants to do, the boss wants to do. And I think that's it for me. And yeah, great. I'm here every month yelling at Rob and Mike.
That's fair. Great job, Kimmy. Congratulations again. We're very, very proud of you. Wayne, what do you got for us, man?
Sure. Well, not nearly as interesting or fulfilling as the other two, but it's funny because like everybody asks me like, why do I do this? I'm not involved in the business at all, but I've been a wrestling fan for a long time, and I appreciate Rob giving me this opportunity to come on and give horrible takes and just kind of create the illusion of thought. But what I do well is I don't do ventriloquism well, but I do my style well. So I do a nightly dad puppet joke on TikTok at Key Nation, and you can find me pretty much at Key Nation on every social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, as well as YouTube. Now, I've been putting some TikToks on YouTube, but I did just fully edit my first full-length, 20-minute video. It's me and my family doing a full Bean Boozled game, and I did like little effects and special sound bites and stuff. So I was pretty proud of myself for that. But that's what I do like for fun. And I'm of course Wayne Ray Keener on Facebook. And professionally, you can catch me in Delran, New Jersey, selling cell phones for our wireless Verizon. And right now we got a great Mother's Day promotion where you can get up to $800 on a trade-in and a free iPad and a free Apple Watch. So if you need some new devices, come see me in Delran. And other than that, I love being here. I love being on the show, and thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, go visit Wayne over at Verizon, man. He's the hardest working guy out here. Guys, got a shout out real quick. We got ISPW 80s Wrestling Con. Bret Hart's going to be in the building early in the morning, 11 a.m., I think, to 4, the convention. It's going to be a long day, and then it's followed by Rock and Wrestling. We have a lot of matches with the ISPW superstars, some former WWE talent, some Hall of Famers. It's going to be a great show, guys. Of course, it's going to be in is it Morristown, New Jersey? Men in Sports Arena. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Check out ISPW for all the ticket information. I will be hosting the red carpet. We'll see some fashion choices before the Rock and Wrestling show with Ray Calitri, the international shining star, who's always very fashionable, and he always tells me that I am not fashionable, so I'll have to get dressed up or I'll be in trouble. Guys, thank you so much for making the time. We hit our times tonight, and guys, like we always say here on the BCP, everyone stay safe, stay positive, take care of each other. We out.